minds like us, growing in years, with a goal to make a change of the world around your race. They've been able to set the pace.
Hello and welcome to your favorite program, Youth Engage. Today, we present an icon whose legacy of excellence spans generations. From his grandfather, who managed scholarships in the Old Western region, to his professor parents, Professors Layuola and Adeline Durotoye, and now his own family. He embodies patriotism and leadership through action. His 10 core values prove that true nation building is not mystical. It's achievable when we all do the right thing. Dr. Fela Durotoye is a distinguished business consultant, leadership expert, politician, and motivational speaker. He is the president of GEMSTONE Nation Builders Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to youth empowerment and transformational leadership. Born in 1971, Fela Durotoye's academic journey took him from the Obafemi Awolowo University to prestigious institutions like Harvard, Yale, and the Lagos Business School. His expertise spans business strategy, governance, and leadership coaching. From finance to consulting, he transitioned into social enterprise with Visible Impact Limited, inspiring change through value-driven leadership. In 2018, he ran for the Nigerian presidency, championing national transformation, and in 2023, he was appointed Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Values and Social Justice, serving without salary from October 2023 to March 2024. Beyond leadership, he is a devoted husband to Tara Fela Durotoye, CEO of House of Tara, and a proud father of 3.
We all know you to be a value-based driven person. But looking at Nigeria now, especially these days when it comes to politics, if you don't have power or influence, you're near impossible to win. So what is your say on that? Do you think like ethical leadership, that you always talk about is good? Do you think there's hope for that in Nigeria?
Oh, well, it depends on the number of people who have ethical values who are willing to make a choice. Let me give you an example. In the year that I ran for office, there were 84 million registered voters. And yet, only 28 million votes, not voters, votes were cast. Let me explain to you why I said not voters. There are 4 kinds of votes. I'm going to quickly run you through them. This is Politics 101. There is what you call the mobilized vote. A mobilized vote is a vote that has a voter who maybe believes in the party, believes in the candidate, but they believe in something, and that is why they vote. The second one is called monetized vote. A monetized vote is a voter and they vote. But the intention of the voter it's a transaction, right? You pay me, and so they don't care who they vote for, they only care that they collected something. So that's monetized. But that's where it gets interesting. Now, the third one is something called manufactured vote. Manufactured vote is the one where one person will sit down, take a thumb point, and start printing. There is votes, but no voters. Do you see it? Only one person, but the person can print 200 ballot papers. So there are ballot papers to be counted, but no individuals to be counted. But the fourth one is called manipulated votes. Manipulated votes are where they actually just change numbers. There are no voters, sometimes no votes. right? But they are just number changing. Now, so when you hear that 28 million votes were cast, understand, that's not 28 million voters. That includes, let's do it together, it includes monetized, manipulated, mobilized, and manufactured votes. So now, let us even assume for simplicity that every vote was a voter. So from 84 million votes to 84 million registered voters to 28 million votes. What happened to the over 50-something million people that were registered to vote but did not vote? Those are usually the ethical people who did not collect money. It wasn't that there was no money to collect. It was that they didn't collect money to vote. They just didn't vote. The day those people begin to believe that their votes will count, that's the day that they will begin to have a voice. Until then,
Do you blame those people actually? Because, okay, consider yourself like in the
excuse me,
shoes.
sir, blaming is not a leadership skill.
Not a leadership
So I
skill.
don't care.
Yeah.
I don't blame nobody. I don't blame nobody, not for where we are. I don't blame anybody for what they didn't do. All I know is to get what we want, these people have to change their mind. Whatever needs to change their mind, that's what is going to have to happen. It doesn't matter who to blame. Have you ever blamed anybody that you changed? Look, let's say, if you fall down, let's say, and you cut your foot, and you say it was this guy that made me fall, does it change the pain in your leg? Blaming doesn't change anything. It's an illusion, a waste of time. It's a distraction. Focus on what needs to be done to get what you want. What do I want? I want a nation where the best and the brightest of us are getting involved in everything that pertains to this nation, accepting responsibility to decide to build our nation. That is what I want. Okay, so in a sense, let me help you understand it. My sojourn into politics was essentially to get people, good people, to do 5 things. Number 1, good people to go and get their voters card so that they can vote for good people. Right? Number 2 was to get good people to run for office so that they can emerge into people that can be voted for, candidates. Number 3 was to get good people to support them on their journey in terms of their campaign and all of those things. Number 4 was to get good people to go into the political parties so that they can put their good structures that will get good people to emerge. And then number 5 was to get good people to get into the Independent National Electoral Commission. And that, for me, I think was my mandate. So when people say to me, Fela ran for office, I always laugh. I ran for a new Nigeria. I said it throughout the time I was campaigning. I ran for a new Nigeria, and I had a 5-part mandate: get good people involved. And just so you know, indeed, 17 million new voters cards or new registered voters emerged when we ran for office. Go and look at the numbers. Between 1999 and 2003, only 3 million people, new voters cards. Between 2003 and 2007, maybe another 3 or 4 million. But look at it, between when we ran, 17 million new people. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. So if anybody likes it and they say, oh, yeah, he failed, it doesn't matter. And you have to remember that if you're ever going to accomplish anything great in life, you have to be careful, because faith comes by hearing. So you have to know how to be deaf and to be able to. People are going to talk. And there are people who don't know what you are doing, and people who are too busy looking at what you are doing for them to face on what they are doing.
What if you're scared of field efforts?
Oh, well, that's the point. Fear is not a problem. Fear is not the problem of the leader, because courage can deal with that. Courage deals with fear. What is courage? The ability to step forward in the face of fear. Guess what? Confidence is the reward that fear will give to you for daring. So you most of the time, you won't have the confidence when you go forward. You will only take a step of courage, even when you're scared. But as you now take the step forward, you now realize, do you know how many people told me, they will kill you if you go into politics? I went around Nigeria, and I've been going around Nigeria for years with no intent around raising people. But in the time that I went around this country, between 2017 and 2019, I have never been shown so much love all across Nigeria. One of the things I tell people is that it has nothing to do with whether you are Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. People know when you love and what you're trying to do is good. When it's about them, they can see it. Doesn't mean they will always believe it. But it answers your fear.
Your last political run is more of symbolic than strategic.
Oh, it was strategic for me, not symbolic. Strategic in the sense that my job is to build nation builders. My job is to get people who will believe in Nigeria, who will be a part of the process of building good governance. And good governance will start from them being, standing up, getting, their own voters card, without which they can do nothing, right? That it is your voters card that empowers your voice. Without a voters card, you don't have a voice. You have an opinion, but you don't have a voice, right? Your voice, whether it will be heard or not, is a different point, but you have a voice. The point that I'm making is that it was strategic. My journey is to see how we can raise nation builders who will build Nigeria. And so it wasn't symbolic at all. I wasn't doing it for show. Why would anybody live their own life for show? It doesn't make sense.
Likewise now, you have an advice for youths that are always involved in political apathy. What is it?
Well, the first thing I would tell youth is that let me crack a joke. I hope that somebody finds it funny. I always say that every election cycle, the winning party is apathy. Apathy. That's how I say it. And what that means very simply is that if you go and look at the number of registered voters and you look at the number of votes that were cast, you realize that there were more people who registered to vote who didn't vote. Meaning they voted for anybody. They actually cast a vote, but they didn't realize that they were casting the vote. What they were saying was, let the people who vote choose our voters for us, or our elected officials for us. So if you would rather the area boys choose the elected officials for you, that's fine. Then you get whoever but you shouldn't complain. You shouldn't. I think that the hypocrisy is the fact that I don't take action and then I am complaining about the action that other people took. I think that is the height of hypocrisy for me. I find that completely unacceptable, right? So anybody that cries who didn't vote, it's like you're saying, why are you doing that? Why would you not? You say, well, but I don't want to waste my vote. Okay, use it the day after election now. Can you use your vote the day after election? You can't. Right? Oh, but Fela, they already know who it is that they're going to elect. Well, okay. So I would ask people, will you buy a television that you know will not show? They say no. I say, would you buy a wristwatch that will never tell the time? They say no. I say, so why do politicians buy votes if they know that votes don't count? What is it that politicians know about votes that you are refusing to vote don't know? Obviously, votes count. But we have been told and we have said to ourselves many times, our mass numbers don't make a difference. That's why more people are registered to vote and yet they don't vote. That's why I said apathy is the biggest party. So it is a choice that we have. As long as we don't take action, we will always be looking for who to blame. But in 20 years, don't forget, your children will not ask you how we got here. If they ask that, it's out of kindness and courtesy. And you can have any wonderful stories. You can blame this person, blame that person, blame this person. Just get ready for the next question. The next question is the real question. What did you do? And at that point in time, there is no way you can use any figment of... You're either going to tell the truth or you're going to tell a lie. You're going to, I didn't vote. Yes! Stop there. What? And your children, these children of now, these ones that are coming, I'm not talking about you guys. You guys are already sharp-mouthed. The next ones that are coming, they will call you to question. Yes. They will go and look at all your posts and your comments. and say, is this what, with all the brain God gave you, is this the kind of comment you could have come up with? Is this the kind of post you could have happened? You are going to, listen, you are going to account for every post and every comment. The internet does not forget. It is going to be there. Yeah, you think you are young, eh? Okay, wait, in 20 years, when you have become supposedly more responsible, then you will be responsible for the things you did in the time of your irresponsibility. So my point is to say, listen, you're young, but you're not a youth. You're a leader. Let your conversations be about how can we build what we've been gifted. No generation will ever be judged by what it gives, what it inherited from its parents, but every generation will be judged by what it gives to the next generation. Nigeria has been, we have not done well to, and I say we, because I'm 50-something now, I'm already now part of the older generation. I used to be the ones that were, when I started this Nigeria matter, we were the ones that were fighting, our parents didn't. Now I'm becoming the parents now. My child is 22 years old, so now who am I going to point to? My grandparents, their own grandparents? Forget that rubbish. We are the ones that have to hold ourselves to account. And you guys are already getting there. In 10 years, I'm sure I'll be carrying your children now. So don't start thinking to yourself that you are really that young.
Do you think we have more leaders or rulers in Nigeria now?
I would ask your opinion first. What do you think? Right? It is clear. We have leaders who have refused to lead. And we have rulers who have taken advantage of the fact that the leaders are not leading. Because the leaders are hiding. And the rulers are having a full day. You remember in the scriptures, Ecclesiastes? It says, this is another evil I have seen under the sun. It says, I've seen princes walking on foot, and I have seen fools on the back of the horses. What happens? Nature abhors vacuum, boys. If the good people will not get in, the bad people will have a field day. It's just that simple. Don't blame the bad people for doing bad in office. Ask the good people, what did you do when it was time to make a choice? But one of the things I also realized was that, every great nation has only become great by reason of good governance. I didn't say good government. Government is one of the things that makes governance. There are 5 pillars or 5 sectors that make governance. There is what you call the politics or political sector. There's the policy sector. There's the public sector. There's the private sector. And then there's the people sector. Right? Now, for me, I realized that you can't have a great nation without good governance, which means that, especially in a democratic setting, you need people who are good, have the right values, right intent, right vision, to want to choose who their leaders will be. So there must be good people getting their voters card, ready to vote. There must be good people running for office, of which good people will emerge as candidates, and then good people will emerge through the electoral process as into offices, right? It is those good people that will, in a sense, appoint good people as political appointees, who will then, hopefully, if we have good people in the bureaucracy, will have the public sector, ministries, departments, and agents that are creating, with the policies of those people, the environment for good people in the private sector, for profit and not for profit, to be able to execute on those policies, right? So you realize that in every great nation, it's not really just the people sitting down waiting for government to do it for us. Henry Ford was not from the Ministry of Transportation. The Wright brothers were not from Ministry of Aviation. All right? Vanderbilt was not Ministry of Rail. The guys who built America, who built great countries and great nations, they were not in government. They were people who accepted responsibility for their nation, who believed in their capacity to make it happen, who committed their time, their energy, their money, their lifetime, all of their resources, and they were determined, dogged, and they delivered the future of the nation. I think the greatest challenge that we have today is that we have 220 million leaders waiting for a leader to help them. If you look around the corner here, I hope that maybe when they do the still shots, you'll see it. There's a map of Nigeria on my wall. That map was given to me by Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo in 2005, so 20 years now, right? And one of the things I say to people is every time somebody comes to me and wants to tell me about the problem of Nigeria, I say, come, let me show you where the problem is. They say, you know where the problem is? I say, come, I tell you. And I take them in front of the mirror and they say, Fela. I say, no, wait. Just before you get disappointed, can I also tell you where the solution is? The solution is right there in the mirror. Everyone who is listening today who has a heart for Nigeria is the solution to Nigeria's problems. Don't be distracted by what other people are doing. I mean, these days when young people are so glued to their phone and they've turned commentary into a profession. Yeah, I haven't seen, one of the things I always ask people is, this is the way I was raised. That you pass in front of somebody's house does not mean you are invited in. That you see a post from Fela Durotoye does not invite you to comment. If I'm not following you, and you are not following me, waka pass now. Right? Waka pass. It's not everything that you see that you must comment on. It's not every post is not asking for your opinion. If it is asked, if it is sought for, give it. If it is not sought for, walk past. In the time that I was raising people to come into the democratic setting, to go and get their voters card, I wasn't going to the banks, my clients. I wasn't running my trainings. I wasn't running the retreats that I used to earn money. For 2.5 years, I was running for Nigeria. Right? I didn't complain. It's part of that's what leadership is. Right? You go to places. You need that before, if I send something, put something out, it could go viral, no negative comments. All of a sudden, people are attacking you, not for what you said, but for what you believe. Just because you believe that there will be, and then there are people who think of you now, and now they can say, you are running for office, therefore I'm your enemy. How now? Is it not that all of us want Nigeria to be better? How is it, it's a political thinking that somebody is your enemy. In nation building, we are all running for the same cause. Whether you win or I win, doesn't matter. As long as it is for the people and the people's lives to get better. If you run and you win and Nigeria becomes better, am I not going to be a better, it's going to be better for me too. So you've got to be able to accept, believe, commit, and then be dogged enough. There is no transformational leader that is scared. You can't be scared of being abused. You can't be scared of failure. You can't be scared of trying and failing. You can't be scared of what's going to happen to you on the journey. You've got to be so focused on the thing that it is that you see, that you have accepted a responsibility to deliver. And that, I think, is very important. Now, let's be clear. That is a transformational leader at any level. But some young people are going to hear me now and go to the comment section and write, you see, you have did it. Because they are looking for who to blame. Unfortunately, blaming is not a leadership skill. And you know what the problem is that most people think that they are youth because they are young. When God was speaking to Jeremiah, Jeremiah was a 16-year-old boy. He said, Lord, I cannot speak for I'm a youth. The first thing God said to him, be quiet. Don't ever call yourself a youth again. Why? Because it's an illusion. Youth is a state of mind. It's a state of mind. And it's a state of mind of somebody who's not ready to accept responsibility for who they are to become. So I would say to people, you can be young, but don't be a youth. What I mean by that? You are a leader emerging. You are a leader becoming. You are a leader. You are a billionaire becoming. You are a CEO becoming. You are a professor becoming. You are the time of your youth is the time of your preparation for who you are revealing to the world. So don't think that because yesterday looks like today, and today looks like possibly what tomorrow will be, that you think that, no, don't worry, I have time. You don't have time. Time is flying. 20 years ago, I remember was at best like 3 years ago. I remember where I was. I remember how I felt. I felt the same way. 20 years ago, I was 33 years old. I look back and I say, where did the last 20 years go? And all of a sudden, now I'm looking at the fact that 20 years from now, I'll be 73. And that scares me. That scares me. So I don't know how old you are now, but add 20 years to your life, and I can promise you that's tomorrow. It's going to happen so much faster than you can think. So don't think you're a youth. You're not a youth. You may be young, but you're a leader. You're a father. You don't have kids, yes, that's true. But God called Abraham a father of nations before he ever had a child. So you are already who you are, and you're just becoming. Don't think about your age in defining who you are. Just think that where you are today is just a stage in your life. The question is, who are you really? Who are you? What is your dream? Because that's what it always starts with. What do you want? What is going to become better because you exist? What is going to become better because you are here? What is going to become better because you breathe in the morning, because you woke up? That is what should drive you. You were born to make a difference. Not just to complain, not just to be cynical, not just to be critical. You were born to contribute. So remember that there is a solution somewhere in you, and there's a problem somewhere around you that is asking for the solution in you to come and create value. Every time you create that value, the world will celebrate you, the world will reward you. So don't complain about problems. You were created to solve them. So I want you to find what it is that drives you. But make sure that whatever you do, please serve that solution with integrity and excellence.
Thank you for watching.